We have returned.
In more ways than one.
In more ways than one.
Yes. These things are still annoying. Fabulous.
Working on it.
We do have ideas. We hit a drawing board.
That's right.
Talk about the new look. What we're looking for.
So, we are back in the United States. We did leave the country for a week. I know there was a little bit of a gap in the
there was an unexpected gap because I died again.
in the podcast. We might have missed 1 or 2 weeks. I think we might have missed two. I can't remember, but
at least 2. Yeah. I was like pretty sick.
Yeah. So we were trying to get ahead for when we did leave to go to England, which we kind of did. The last episode that released, we recorded like 3 or 4 weeks ago now. But
we were on it.
We were trying.
Then
we
I
tried
died.
Our best. Yep, then you died.
Or I came close to death. I didn't die. Unless I'm Lazarus because Jesus brought me back.
Lazarus? What did he say? I forget. Lazarus, come out? Is that what Jesus wept.
I don't remember right now. I'm thinking of that song. Just like Lazarus.
No, but yeah, so we just got back on Friday. Yeah, Friday. From England.
So I was talking to Deanna, and she goes, I think it's harder to come back than it is to go. I don't know if we just weren't gone long enough.
It was definitely easier coming back.
But yes, for anyone that has traveled like from the U.S. to the U.K., and I'm sure there's other areas. Yeah, there's other areas. But when you go there, I don't even fully remember Saturday. So we left Friday night.
Saturday didn't even really exist.
And then Saturday, we got there like early, like 6 something in the morning on Saturday. Mm-hmm. But I call that a zombie day because I know what I did, but yet I don't know if I really did it.
We didn't sleep on the plane at all.
No, maybe like a little cat nap type thing I got.
I didn't one bit.
The baby slept on me, so that was kind of weird because I felt like I always had to hold him when the stewardess or people walked by. Mm-hmm. I had an aisle seat. Ryan had the window seat, and of course the baby wants to be on me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We flew JetBlue, by the way. I gotta say this about JetBlue. JetBlue is fantastic. The planes were amazing. Plenty of room. We got like the extra legroom seats, so we were like the first row behind first class, the first one. And
I have complaints, but
you do. So
2 things, but
so there's plenty of room as far as like not being first class and still being really really roomy. And then what was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, the staff that work on the flights are like the nicest I've ever seen. Usually flight attendants are kind of like, they're nice, but they're like, you can tell it's just a job. Like they're kind of like annoyed, at least from my experience.
Stop being so annoying. Then.
But I know, but no, like every flight attendant on these flights were amazing, super nice, really, really nice to the little guy too.
I love it. That's like when people he doesn't know talks to him, he's like,
yeah, he just stares at him.
Or he does this one. And I'm just like, he's really a nice boy.
I know what you're going to complain about, though, which is...
There's 2 things I want to complain about.
So you want to complain about the food, probably?
Oh, no, I wasn't actually going to say about the food, even though those wraps, I guess they just switched over to those other foods.
They changed the menu.
Those food, like on the way home, much better. Other than like...
Food was good for airplane food.
Coming up the other way. It wasn't so good.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different story. That has
your
to do
complaint,
with my other
is
thing.
Turbulence?
No, because that's not their fault. These are things that they could control.
Okay, what?
So first off, in those seats that we were in, and it's just those seats, is that you couldn't lift the divider, which would have been so much easier, like the little hand rest things.
Oh,
you couldn't move it out of the way.
That was just for our seats?
Yeah. All the rest of them would move. Like there were full grown people that were stretched across the 3 seats sleeping when I took the baby for the walk.
Okay.
So that would have been a lot easier with the baby.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have to be on me. We could have just lifted that and he would have rested his like head on me, or I could have like kind of laid down with him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that part didn't like that. And it's because our TVs and stuff were in there instead of in the seats.
Oh, right. So we were the first row behind first class. So there was no seats in front of us. Typically the TVs would have been on the seats in front of us, but because there were no seats in front of us, they had to put our TVs into our armrests. So, okay, that makes sense.
So we had our trays and our TVs in that like solid place. So
they like folded out.
That is a complaint that's just about those.
Yeah, that's our fault for picking that row. Yeah.
I didn't pick it, so it's your fault.
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, so. I picked that row because I figured it would be the most roomy, which I think is true.
Yeah.
But the trade-off
we were
is
thinking
that.
like the baby could stand up and stuff, but as soon as he got unbuckled, he literally like, I tried to use my legs to make like a fence and he just like
he just wanted to run
dove
around
in there, which is fine. But he actually did really well. He did better than I thought he was going to do. Much better than I thought he was going to do. And then the other complaint that I had was we had to rebook our flight from August.
Oh, yeah.
And this is totally on them.
I agree with this.
That we literally just, and they let us cancel it. They said that we had a credit, which is fine. But we literally ordered or booked the same flight, the same times, because they only do one flight out and one flight back per day. So the same exact flights, same seats, and they charged him additional money, even though that there's still money in the kitty. Mm-hmm. So now we have this money that I don't know what we're going to do with.
Because the reason for that is, I agree, it's really stupid. They don't cover the upgrades, which is so dumb. And the upgrades
but we
are
paid, it was the same exact thing.
Right. The upgrades are
the
more roomy seats that we got.
It's just silly.
Yeah,
it's just silly. Like dental insurance. Like, you have this much in the
scam.
kitty, but we're only going to let you use 50% on
They're
this
effectively
code.
robbing you.
Well, then you end up using them again until you use up that kitty, essentially.
But that kitty only lasts for a year. So if we don't go on another JetBlue flight before this August, we lose it all.
We should just give it to my aunt.
It's ridiculous.
We should.
I don't think you can transfer them either. Maybe you can.
No, remember? Because she said that you couldn't give them to yourself. You have to use it as a guest or something.
Yeah, but that's
as a gift or something.
Yeah, that was just. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing was weird.
It's weird. It's a scam to steal your money, essentially.
So don't book them unless you're definitely going to go at that time, which obviously we didn't know because the passport company should not have taken.
It's actually
20 some odd weeks.
It's a deterrent to keep you from canceling your trip, even though they say, "Oh, you'll get your money back." But you'll kind of get your money back.
And even so, like, you don't get all the fees and stuff, which I get that part, but
I don't. The fees are just a gimme anyway. Fees, transaction fee. Yeah, for what? A computer to say you made a transaction? Like,
I don't know. Well,
anyway,
I would have given them at least that. But the whole, like, and now we have, what, $800 in this kitty that we're not going to use.
Yeah. No, but the trip was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a blast.
Yeah,
what?
You didn't want to come home.
No, I didn't.
Like,
I legit
this
did
is
not
my
want...
home now. You were ready to, like,
yeah,
send
I was
me
like,
and the
this
baby
feels
off.
like I've never
go like hang out with Anthony again.
I've never gone to a country or on a vacation and felt so at home. I don't know why. I just felt like super comfortable there.
The family over there are all a bunch of me's, and you're just like, this is the best country.
I don't know.
This is a country full of Pams. This is what I want in my life.
I don't know. It was good. It was a blast. I want to apologize. I think I don't remember what episode, but we were talking on this podcast about going to England, and I was like, British food is trash.
Yeah.
British food is trash.
Listen.
I want to take
honest,
that back.
I didn't think it was going to be that good either.
Yeah.
But at least I knew what I was getting myself into. I didn't get my cream of asparagus soup, and I didn't get my sausages because apparently those are only at Christmas. But
we did have sausage though.
No, not my sausage.
Anyway, I did learn why that British food gets kind of a bad rap though, from Maureen, your dad's wife. She told me the backstory on that. But before I get to that, I want to say and apologize about the comments of British food being terrible, because That was like the best food I've ever had. No, maybe not the best. It's up there.
It definitely has
all the meals
best
we had were great.
Quality, consistent quality, because their regulations are so much more refined than ours. Their eggs were delicious. Okay, so I don't know how far we're going to get into this because it's still kind of like this ongoing mystery type thing. And I don't like to relive all this stuff, but I was really sick before. And we'll just say I wasn't able to eat. Is that
like right before we went on the trip? You mean?
Yeah. So I was having trouble eating. And I think it was the perfect time, honestly, for the trip because I had to essentially like force myself to eat. And and I was on medicine and stuff, so I was getting better, but I had to force myself to eat. And I think just going on the trip actually helped me a lot because the food, like, it tasted really good, so I wanted to eat it. And even things here that I liked that taste good, like Ryan would get me whatever I wanted, and it wasn't good. I am not pregnant. I have had multiple tests and like blood tests to say that I'm not pregnant. So I'm really not pregnant. It's something totally different. And I just don't want to really like.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't have to get into it because it's not conclusive. But,
you're good now.
Yeah, but I'm much better now. But I do think that going over there and having those experiences and those foods and just the way that they actually eat, like their timing of things, it's almost like they kind of graze throughout the day, which is definitely something that I need to work on doing anyway.
The portions are a lot smaller.
See, once I say things, I'm like, now they're going to think I'm this. I am not anorexic. I do not have an eating disorder. I was literally like physically something wrong.
We don't have to go into it. Yeah.
Well, me saying like, oh, I got to learn how to graze. People are going to be like, oh, she doesn't eat.
It's not that.
It's not that. I literally had something physically wrong with me. But don't worry. I have my secret weapon.
What?
My Monique.
Oh,
I don't want to
your
say
doctor.
her last name. She's fabulous, and I love her. But anyway, I think that it was really good, the timing of it, because I think it, like, I would start to feel hungry and I would want food, or I think also, you know how I've told you that if I go out to eat at somebody's house, especially if it's homemade, that I feel obligated, like I have to eat whatever it is.
Right.
So I think that somewhat that happened as well.
That played a factor a little bit.
Yeah, but even just knowing that someone else was paying for the meal on the meals that we didn't pay for.
Right.
Like I felt like I had to eat more of. Like,
you feel like a jerk if you don't eat it.
Yeah, like you know what meal I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Specifically the meal that you know I didn't like. But for other things, like I'm more willing to try certain things just because they were made with love and love tastes good.
Yeah. So what were you getting at with the food though? Like,
no, I think not necessarily food, but just how they eat. Like, so we'd have breakfast and then we'd have like a mid-morning tea, not tea, but like snack. And
tea and crumpets.
We did not have any crumpets.
We didn't have any crumpets. No. I didn't have any tea either. You didn't either. No, tea is not on my, anyway. And then like lunch would be like a light lunch, and then we'd have another kind of tea break, and then it would be like dinner. Yeah.
And I think that just having all those, like how it was coursed up, it kind of like constantly got me to eat,
and
which
the
I
portions
think helped.
weren't.
No, the portions were small. It was grazing. You were essentially grazing.
Right.
But then even the meals were much more sensible than here. Like here you get like giant plates full of things, and so then you end up eating.
However, the only thing is like the what do you call, what's the word I'm thinking of? The exception.
Pepperoni.
No, pepperoni.
I don't know.
The exception to that is when we went out for Chinese one night.
Oh yeah.
And I was expecting like Chinese food, like, you know, run of the mill Chinese food that you get here.
Yeah. American Chinese.
This was the best Chinese food I have ever eaten in my entire life. And it was like 4 courses.
Like none of it was fried. It was all like baked.
I
had to keep being like, wait, this is baked? And I don't, you know, I told Jessica about the duck.
Yeah. Yeah, we had like the Peking duck or whatever.
Yeah, those little wrap things and the hoisin sauce. And I told her about it. I was like, Jess, you have to try this.
It was ridiculous.
And she was like, I don't know. I tried duck. I think she tried duck down in New Orleans or something.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, I don't know.
No, this was insanity.
And I was like, no, like it was crispy and it was delicious. And she goes, I don't know. And I was like, if I didn't tell you that it was duck, you would have loved these things.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you're going to figure out how they did that.
I don't know how they did it, but it was
Or we're going to have to steal.
Freaking good.
We're going to have to steal Jess and Eric and like bring them over.
Bring them over. No, but
Eric will love it.
So like this was like a 4-course meal or whatever. We got so much food.
You know,
and
like
afterward,
here how they have like the poo-poo platter for
Yeah.
Well, this was like a 4-course, like full. You had your appetizer, those chip things, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you had like these 4 different. What was the first thing?
So like the first giant load they brought out was.
Oh, it had the spare ribs.
Yeah, the spare ribs,
But
which were actual ribs on the bone.
And not fatty strips.
0 fat on them. They just fell off the bone. They were like kind of barbecue-y almost.
Yeah.
So freaking good, dude. Like there was those. What else did it have? They had
those bread sandwiches.
They called them prawn rolls or prawn. I can't remember the name, but it was like this like fried bread with like this shrimp mixture with sesame seeds on it. I don't even know. It was so good.
I didn't try that one just because the baby wants to eat what I eat, and we haven't let him have like seafood yet. Shellfish.
Oh, spring rolls.
Spring rolls.
Spring rolls.
And there was one other thing on there.
I can't remember what the other thing was.
Oh,
but this was just like the first course
of chicken. Those chicken.
Oh yeah, the chicken lemon chicken. It was called, and it was on a stick.
The baby loved that. He
so
was
good, and it was like, it wasn't fried.
None of it was fried. It was all just. And it came out nice and hot.
Yeah.
It was good.
But that was just the appetizer. And then we had a bunch of other stuff. But after we ate the meal, we ate all that food. Like, after you eat Chinese food, you kind of feel like crap. And then you're hungry.
But you don't eat too much of it either, I think.
Because it's so oily and disgusting.
Oily. Yep. The bread.
After this meal, I was like, I don't feel gross. Good. I feel great.
I think that was the most I ate that day, too.
Yeah.
Oh, sesame chicken. So here, the sesame chicken is those fried... like almost like popcorn chickens, if you will, bigger than popcorn chicken, but popcorn chicken with this like glazed
sauce
with sesame seeds spread on it. Here, it was actually like a beaten, tenderized, chicken breast or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like rolled in
sesame
seeds, and it was like cooked like that. So no bread in, no fried, like it was. I was like, what? And then it was cut into little strips. It was delicious.
By the way, we are going to have I don't know when the video is going to come out. It might come out after this, probably after this drops. Yeah, but we do have an entire video of the trip coming, and you'll see some of these meals. I filmed pretty much everything, so you'll see this.
Ryan's a wicked foodie. If nobody knows this,
but yeah, so we don't have to keep talking like going on and on about this. But the food was amazing, and I apologize for saying that it was trash. Why? Now, back to the reason why British food gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
So after World War II, or during World War II, they had food rations, meaning they could only get a certain amount of food, and they didn't have a lot of different types of food. And after the war was over, that actually continued until like 1952 or 53 or something like that. Like, and that can even I think the war ended what?
Check
46
his dates.
I'm just freeballing here. I think the war ended 45, 46, and the food rations in Great Britain continued until the early 1950s. So because of that, they got a bad rap because they didn't have anything. They didn't have any good food. They just had what they were given, and they had a limited supply of it. So that knowledge of that carried on like throughout the world, and probably just mostly America. I don't know, but that they became known as not having great food, bland food, and it wasn't until like 25, 30 years ago that kind of really started to take a turn, that the food improved and is really good. That's what I was told by a local Pam's dad's wife. So
Miss Maureen.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Just like mincemeat pie.
Yeah, it's not meat.
Not what you think. It's
not
like
meat.
A dessert. It's like a tart with a cover.
It's a sweet tart
pie.
thing.
Baby pie, I don't know what's in you, but I guess you're made with meat. It's like meat fruits. Fat or something.
Yeah.
And that's why it's meat pie. But it's the meat of the fruit.
Originally, they were made with meat, she said. But then, like, over time, it became tradition that they put, like, fruit in it. But the fruit mixture is made with this
meat, some fruit. It's always what I want with
They were good,
meat,
though. I thought they were great. And then the sausage rolls we had.
Sausage rolls. The ones that Maureen and Dad made, and then the ones that we saw at the cafe.
Yeah.
The ones at the cafe were like
massive. They were like this. They were like this big around.
Where the other ones were more like a meatball size, sort of. I only tried the ones that
sausage
Maureen
rolls.
and Dad made for us. Well, Maureen made, and I think that Dad made the mincemeat pie.
Yeah.
Which is, I honestly, I was like, I don't want to try this. I know Ryan doesn't want to try this. I'm just going to eat it. And then I'm going to go. This is the day that I was like zombie day.
This was the first day we were there.
And I was like falling asleep trying to eat like the sausage rolls.
This is really good.
Yeah. Like I was so dead for probably a good day and a half, maybe 2 days. But anyway. The baby bounced back like nothing. Give him 1 day of sleep and he slept, just like resets.
He slept
all
day Saturday, basically.
Yeah. He slept 3 hours on the plane and then we got to somewhere in the car. He fell asleep.
Yeah. And then we got
to your dad's house. He played a lot at the airport. It took a while to get out of the airport because of the rental car. And then, and then we, like, by the time we got to my dad's house, he was so out that even when we took him out of the car seat, he was like the lifeless body of blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he slept the whole time until we had to go
to the hotel.
We ended up taking a nap, and they woke us up and said, hey, it's time to go to the hotel. And we can just, we ended up having dinner. Oh, by the way, that hotel.
Yes.
Ian, huge shout out to Ian for being so awesome. He and the baby are best friends.
So we stayed at a hotel called the Norfolk Arms
we
in
should send
Arundel.
This to him just to be like,
I know. I was trying to figure out
so much.
I was trying to find him online. I couldn't.
You were creeping on him?
No, I was just trying to find him.
His wife is the manager at the hotel.
Okay.
If that helps.
Maybe we shouldn't say that. That's okay. It's all right. Whatever.
But he said that he wanted us to send the picture.
Oh, okay.
At the end of this, you should add the little picture of Bill and
he was
Ian.
so cool.
He would go out of his way. So his wife is the manager at the hotel, so he was kind of like always around. It was, I don't know. There's this show or this movie where there's you know what it is? It's Modern Family. There's an episode where they go on vacation and this butler guy is kind of like always like poking up. But like they're like, I wish we could find someone. And he's like, hello, here I am. What do you need? Blah, blah, blah. And he kind of reminded me of that. But he would he could hear the baby if he was getting fussy in the hallway or something. And he'd be like, hello, mate. Out. Yeah.
Hey,
what's
there's my buddy.
Yes. And then
give him like a fist bump.
I have never been somewhere like here that just automatically offered, seeing that a toddler was going to have milk, to warm the milk for him. And this was at nighttime the first time that we met Ian. And he's just like, oh, does he want his milk warm or cold? And I'm like, what? You guys do that? And he goes, yeah, if that's what he wants. And I was like, psh.
You got
all right. And so then we just started always asking, I'm going to try it here. Everyone there was so, so nice. Like,
didn't have one bad interaction with one single human from the time we landed there to the time we left.
Even like locals, we talked to a window washer.
Yeah.
And he was so nice. And he was
crazy nice.
He's like, I feel bad for you Americans. You only get 2 weeks off of paid vacation. We get 6 weeks every year and paid sick time. I'm like, what? I'm like, sir.
By the way, that guy.
Push over. I'm washing the next window.
We saw that guy on just a random side street.
Yes, but it was a street that had a
movie was filmed.
Yeah,
but,
you'll see it in the other video. But.
Like a day or two later, I was walking around with your dad when you were doing something else.
Oh, I was at forest school with the baby.
And I saw the same guy.
Baby. I can say that because we didn't film that.
So, right.
Anyway.
I saw the same guy like washing windows like downtown. So he must just wash all the windows in the town. I don't know.
Or the city.
But I thought that was weird. I was like, wow.
Did you talk to him?
No, I didn't say anything because he was talking to somebody else.
You should have said, "Hey, mate."
Hey, mate.
I was like, the baby's gonna come home and think his name is mate.
I'm a top bloke.
Shout out Anthony.
Pam's cousin called me a top bloke.
Ryan loves that. Do you notice?
It's a compliment. I didn't know what it meant until we looked
I know.
it up.
He was kind of like, what does that mean? And then I had to look it up, and I was like, don't worry, it's a good thing. And he's like, oh, all right. And then he's like, I'm a top bloke.
I'm a top bloke.
I'm a top bloke. He's like, going to the baby, did you hear your dad's a top bloke? I'm like, I think it's a little less blokey when you bloke about it.
No, but anyway, we had a great time. We had a blast. And like I said, we filmed the entire trip. So
pretty much. We
that'll
did
be coming
separate
out on this channel
for that day. Not that day, that morning. We kind of did things like morning did something and then afternoon did something, and we took little breaks and rests for the baby in between. AKA, I was the baby that needed the extra rest in between.
Not necessarily.
Sometimes
Not always.
I wanted to be. Everything there is small.
Yes.
Except for, so I was telling Ryan how small everything was, and then he ends up like, we get this like luxury suite hotel, which is like the biggest room. Well, I guess
we didn't
in the
pay
hotel.
for it, by the way. It was gifted to us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Not a sponsor deal. It was gifted by like Pam's family.
Yeah. And like the room was huge, and I'm like,
it was, yeah.
What the heck? I'm trying to tell him how small everything is here, and everything was like huge. And then the car, we got a rental car, and we got like a smaller SUV type thing for us. And then my dad said, he goes, I didn't know I was going to have to drive a bus.
This is a bus. Yeah. That was like the first thing. This is a bus. I'm like, what? This is a bus. I'm like, this is just a regular Mercedes SUV. It was kind of a
smaller, yeah.
It wasn't that big of an SUV. But he's like, this is a bus. I'm like, oh, all right.
But then when you were driving around, you're probably like, oh my gosh, this is a bus.
All the other cars are like half
weird
the size.
Too that they don't have dump trucks out there. Like
pickup trucks?
Oh, pickup trucks. That's what I meant. And then they drive around with tractors instead of like big, like,
there's
big
like
rigs.
tractors driving down the street in town. Like,
the baby's like, oh. Actually, the first couple times we saw them, the baby was asleep, and I was so annoyed. I'm like, wake up. Look at this tractor. But it was good. So we're back.
It was great.
I don't know if you guys want to give suggestions of the next place we should go.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, please suggest some places so we can go on vacation again, because I had a really good time.
Actually, New Zealand jet lag would probably be way worse.
Oh, that'd be brutal. It's probably the opposite. It's probably easier going there than coming back.
I don't think.
Because I think
we would have to leave the baby somewhere. That would be like a month-long vacation.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be life.
Far. That's like
we would
the
have
other
to
side of the
there.
earth.
Yeah. Your dad asked about the toilets. By the way, the toilets do not spin in a different way in Europe, but
no.
It seems like their toilets just like go straight into the hole.
They don't flush
like
good.
Flush like this. It just goes like.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't flush good though either. You have to hold the flusher for like ever. At least the one we were using.
Not because you loaded it forever, sir.
Oh, that's
it's relative to the load. I'm just kidding.
No, but anyways.
So that's kind of a weird, I guess, summary /
Yeah, you'll see the full. Like I said, I'm editing. I've been editing for the last couple days. The trip video. It's like over 3 hours worth of footage.
What do you think was your favorite part? Because that's not gonna be in the video.
What do you mean?
I don't know. The trip. Your favorite part of the trip? That's.
Oh, why'd you say it's not going to be in the video?
Because you're not filming yourself saying, "Oh, my favorite part of this trip is."
Probably. I don't know, honestly. That's tough.
He's like,
the whole thing was great.
Anything but leaving.
I don't know. Probably like as far as like things to see. My favorite part was probably looking at the castles. Yeah. Which wasn't a huge part of the trip. It was just, we went to a
cathedral.
Yeah, but like we looked at we were staying right outside of a castle, and then we went to another castle and went inside of it. That was really cool. But that was only like 20 minutes of the entire trip. But that, I mean, as far as sights to see, that was the coolest thing. They did warn us
that we should go in April so that the castles would be open.
Yeah, no, we'll have to go back. We'll go back. Go on the castle.
Let's go back a different mode of transportation, though.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Let's like cruise over there.
Yeah, you got a month. A boat trip over there would take forever. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it would take a couple days.
I was going to say the Titanic did it.
Kind of. Yeah, but
I don't like flying with turbulence. Shaky turbulence is fine, but when it like dips down and your belly goes, it makes me sick, apparently.
Yeah,
Fun fact we just learned. Should have brought that meclizine. Yeah. And that was horrible.
Yeah, you were struggling.
Once it did it once, and then it did a little one after that, I was done for the rest of the trip until like
we still had
an hour after we got home.
We still had like 2 hours left in the flight, and we hit pretty good turbulence.
So bad for me, and then like
it was
my
pretty bad.
Head hurt.
Yeah, it was bad,
and it didn't like go away. But then once it just like went away. And I remember Uncle Patrick saying that if you get motion sickness, you got to find the horizon.
Yeah, but where do you find that on a plane?
I should have switched seats with you,
yeah,
so that I could have seen. Because then when we were driving back, I tried to focus on the horizon and keep in my eyes, because he's like, your eyes and the fluid in your head have to like agree.
Oh.
And that's what like helps get you out of it.
But again, testament to the staff at JetBlue. They noticed that you weren't feeling well, and they gave you like an ice pack. They were like, "Are you okay?"
The blonde lady did. The guys didn't give two poops.
Well, yeah, but they at least knew. When we were walking off the plane, one of the guys was like, "Oh, I hope you're feeling better."
Yeah, and then
so
that's because I took the barf bag with me, and then somebody's like, "You need a bigger one. Let me get you this yeah. plastic blue bag." And then I was thinking, "Oh my gosh, we have to go through customs." And I would have this barf bag and then this blue bag. And they're going to think that I shoved some kind of drug up my butthole. And that's why I'm sick. It was so not good.
This was the flight. The flight there was smooth sailing. Coming back, there was
for me. Yeah, I feel like going there, the flight was easier, but the jet lag was horrible. And then vice versa for coming back.
Yep.
But we did come back. We got home around 5 or so. And then we ended up basically eating and going to bed, but the baby was like ready for bed. And
then we woke up this past Saturday feeling great.
Yeah, and we actually woke up early. It was like I think we went to bed around 7:30.
I'm still feeling that, by the way. Like especially this morning, I wake up at like 6, and I'm like,
yeah, right, yeah,
ready to go.
But now we have another time change this weekend, so that's gonna be 7. But yeah, I
feel like I'm getting up earlier now, and I'm like, fine, because it's still kind of on their time. Not really, but Well,
we should just like kind of keep it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather do stuff in the morning. It was so nice on Saturday because we got up in the morning at we actually got up out of bed at like 6:30.
6:37, which is so early for us on a weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, for you, I mean me.
Mm-hmm.
I like my sleep. And then we ended up getting up. We had breakfast, got breakfast, whatever we did, went to the bank.
Yeah.
And then what else?
Yeah, we did a bunch of stuff. We
had to go outside. There was a tree that fell down, so we started cleaning the front yard. And then all of a sudden, we're like thinking, "Oh, the day's like done," and it's like 1:00. And then the next day, we did breakfast at the house. We went and did. Where did we go? We went somewhere together on Sunday. Oh, we went grocery shopping.
Right.
And then we came back home, and then the baby and I went to a park to run around in. And then after 2 hours of that, we come home and it's like 11:30. I'm like, what? Where? Why is this taking so long?
The days seem so long since we've gotten back.
Yes, but I think it's good because we're waking up earlier opposed to waking up at 8 or 9.
Uh-huh.
We're like starting at 6:30. So.
8 or 9? We don't usually get up that late. The latest on the weekend we get up is like 8. And that's late.
Up as in up out of bed?
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I stayed in bed until 9. Maybe when I was sick, like, I don't know, a few months ago. 9.
Yeah. By the time we get downstairs.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Let the timekeeper keep the time. All right. Talking about the time.
I can tell you're tired. You're like, and then we went and did this thing.
It's the drugs up my bum. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have things on my bum. Stop, people. No, but I think it really is still the like being on their time, because what time is it right now?
It's 8. It feels like it's about 10.
My bedtime. Like,
I noticed that at work today. This is the first day back at work. I was like, man, this day is dragging. But again, same thing. It's like,
I don't know. I was just happy, cheery.
You were at work, so you were in great mood.
I loved work. I love it. Love it so much. And I'm not even kidding. I love my job and I love who I work for.
So, anyways,
when I got to work, just real quick, work, I had my first patient, and then I know that Irina usually comes in around 9. So I start to go over to her office, and Heather's talking to her, and Heather turns around and she's like, and I'm all like, and she's like, oh, hi. She's like, how was your trip? I'm like, good, but that wasn't for you. That was for Irina. And then I go over and hug Irina, and she's like, what? And I was like, this is just what we do. I was like, and I didn't get to hug her before I left, but whenever we have like
Irina's her boss.
Oh, I love her. Yeah. Whenever we have like a week off or something, or a vacation, or, you know, a longer like break or whatever, we always hug when we leave.
Guys, get that bond.
Back. Yeah. She knew I was pregnant before you did.
It's fine.
Is it though? Because if you would have just played the game.
What game?
The game. It's probably on this channel right now. We played a game.
Oh. Yeah. Oh,
the announcement when I told you.
Yeah.
And you were like, and we had to wait like 3 days later. But I had to tell Irina anyway because of nitrous. I can't do nitrous when I'm pregnant.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right, guys.
Go to bed.
Thanks for watching.
I'm tired. There's
listening.
things for me to do in Europe in my dreams. Okay? Bye.
Travel vlog coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. Oh, also, thank you to our channel members for joining the channel. Really appreciate it. We've gotten a few now, which is cool. We appreciate that very much.
I don't know what it means, but if he likes it, I'll like it.
It means they send us money monthly for being viewers, and they get like a little cloud icon next to their name when they comment.
You get free access to your OnlyFans account?
Definitely not. They probably didn't hear that because you're not speaking in the mic, but it's fine. They don't need to hear that.
Oh, it was a good one, guys. It was a good one.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching.
And good night.
And good night.